Hey kids, welcome to another new edition of the Sports Adrenaline Show. John Castanino here, Matt Gutierrez here, and Matt, we've waited. It's been 8 days since we've had hockey in town. It's been a long time.
It has been.
Yeah.
I'm chomping at the bit here, and no practice this week either. Still technically on their bye week, so we haven't even been down to City National to see what's going on.
And I feel like after the performance that John Gibson had in the All-Star game, I feel like it's just leaving me wanting more.
I feel like I want to see them play the Ducks right away and just take advantage, right?
Right, that too, right? Hopefully they are on the schedule. It's a big 4-game roadie that they've got against a couple Lightnings in the mix there before they come back next Saturday to play at home. We're going to talk about some second half predictions. So obviously we miss hockey. We're going to hit on that first at the top of the show here. We'll start with Golden Knights, and from there, the Running Rebels. Reno. Did we expect anything different, though, in the loss to Reno?
You did. We need to check the tape.
No.
Let's check the tape. You were pretty confident the Rebels were going to keep
You're
it
gonna
close.
have to.
And you.
No.
You're
going to have to check the tape.
You refused to pick a winner, if you remember. Or maybe that was San Diego State. I could be wrong.
No.
Because we talked about both games, so maybe I'll back up a little bit.
He's a little under the weather. So.
Regardless, you were wrong on San Diego State, and it wasn't even close.
That one I'll admit to, but don't think that I said for a second that Reno was going to be a close game. So we'll look at the road ahead here. The Rebels are actually tied for 4th in the conference, even though they've lost 2 in a row. What does that mean?
Nothing.
What about Marvin Menzies' job? Some people saying he's on the hot seat even more after getting blown out by a team they should have gotten blown out by. So we're going to touch on that. Super Bowl 53, we've got some outlandish bets that I want to go over. Clearly, we'll talk about the game, but the first one, and actually this is my favorite one, who is the first person the winning quarterback thanks in their on-field post-game interview? God, wife and family, teammates, fans, any other, and coach. We'll break down those odds for you coming up, and we've got a sponsor on board here in case you didn't see it, Grimaldi's Pizza here. We're really excited to have them aboard, and
it's filling up the studio, man. I can smell it. I can smell it.
We've got a hot pizza here, so I feel like we need to run through the show really quick so we can start to dive down. And the good folks at Grimaldi's, they gave us, it's got my name on it, but we're giving it away. $25 gift card to Grimaldi's Pizza. We haven't decided on how to do that. If you want to comment now and tell us how to give it away, go for it, because we're kind of open to anything. I say best comment. Matt isn't down with that.
Well, I mean, if you guys want to do best comment, we can do best comment. It feels a little subjective. It's kind of based on our opinion. Maybe we have people vote on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
See how that goes.
The guys in NASCAR in town. I don't know if you keep tabs on this. I know I did. I was watching NASCAR today from the comfort of my office, but they're in town. 21 drivers out here, some big testing. So we'll discuss that a little bit. We've got a little bit of UNLV football news and Las Vegas Lights. They're back on Saturday. So we still have plenty to discuss here on the Sports Adrenaline Show, even though the Golden Knights have not played in one full week, over a week here. But that's where we begin, of course. You've got the rundown here. Ah, man, every week I do this. Here,
I don't know which side you're going.
Because you'd think that I would know, TV guy. Okay, thank you, Rich, for making that better. The rundown is on the side of your screen there. We're going to start with the Golden Knights, and then again, we'll touch on our sponsor, Runner Rebels, Bad Beat Brewing, some beer here as well, and the Super Bowl, and then the comments section. Again, we love your comments. We love your interaction on the show. We had a ton of comments last week, Maddie, so I'm hoping we get the same kind of interaction this week. And again, we just look forward to having you all on the show. So let's dive right in here, the Knighthood. So again, as we said, finally, tomorrow the Golden Knights back on the ice after it'll be an 8-day layoff.
Yeah.
They've got back-to-back games here coming up, which means, first off, I want to bring this up. Does Marc-Andre Fleury play in both those games back-to-back? It's been 8 days. He did play in the All-Star game.
Here's the thing, though. They always talk about how fresh he's been, right, and keeping him fresh. And you're coming off of a 8-9 day break. I mean, he played a little bit in the All-Star game, but I mean that's not very taxing considering the way these guys are playing. So
I played 10 minutes.
Not only that, I mean you play Friday, Saturday, then you have another 2 days off before you head to Tampa Bay. So how tired is he really going to be coming off that break? I wouldn't be surprised if he plays both games, especially considering it is Max Legace, not Oscar Dansk. Oscar Dansk back down to Chicago. Legace and Jake Bischoff called up from the AHL to the Golden Knights. When was that? Yesterday that happened, I believe.
Correct.
So it is Legace back there, not backing up Fleury, not Subban. So that may play a factor into it.
I think he plays both games.
Out there.
I think he plays both games. I mean, they've done it all season long.
Yeah. Why change it now, right?
Right. So it's 4-game roadie. Tomorrow at Carolina. Saturday at the Panthers, at the Lightning on Tuesday, at the Red Wings next Thursday, a week from tonight, and then their next home game, not until next Saturday against the Columbus Blue Jackets. So they've lost 4 out of 6 going into the break, Matt.
Yeah.
So not the way you want to go in there.
Coming
we touched
off
on
of
it last week.
7-game win streak.
That's right. We touched on it last week. They're playing good hockey, but they did lose 4 out of 6. Just to break down the numbers for you, 52 games down, so they've got 30 to go here. So it's a short back half of the season. 29, 19, and 4, 62 points. They're comfortably in third place in the division.
Right.
They've got a 10-point lead over Anaheim for that third spot, which essentially is a playoff spot, or is a playoff spot. They're 5th in the conference, 4 behind Winnipeg for 2nd. Matt, 30 games left here. Mm-hmm. You haven't really had a bad patch with this team. I am a little bit concerned that this four losses in 6 games maybe lingers a bit, especially on a road trip here. If it happens, I hope it gets out of the way quickly and it doesn't happen maybe 15 games from now, right? Because you feel like they're going to go in a lull at some point, and maybe this is it.
Maybe not. But here's the thing: you had that little bit of a bad stretch there before the break, but you had the break. So how much of that is still lingering? I mean, you've got plenty of time to kind of shake that off, to put it behind you. These guys are on vacation. I don't know if you saw the picture from Halla today that came out. He's hanging out with David Perron and Jonathan Marchessault on a boat somewhere. Perron hanging out with his buddies. Did you
doing
see
the All-Star break right?
4-inch scar on Halla's knee, by the way? Yeah.
Oh.
I should have pulled that picture up. Yeah, he definitely had some sort of major surgery on that knee. Of course, the Knights will never tell you what it is because that's how they do things. Mm-hmm. But coming off the break here, I think they're going to be okay because you get Carolina and Florida to start this road trip. Both very winnable games. Neither team is in playoff contention right now. And then you've got the tough one at Tampa. Let's just go ahead and mark that down as a loss. I don't think they go into Tampa and win that game.
Right.
It doesn't mean they can't. I just don't think that they will. And then you finish off the road trip with Detroit. Again, another very winnable game. They should be able to just walk right through Detroit, but I mean, who knows at the end of a road trip. But they've got some games here that are winnable, very winnable on this road trip. 8 possible points. I don't see why they should come out with any less than 5 points on this road trip.
Yeah, and I do feel if they played the way that they did, even when they lost those 4 out of the last 6, they should be in good shape. I just have this kind of concern, and it's more of a vibe thing than anything. It's not based on what I've seen on the ice. I don't know. History dictates. There's always a lull. And they had it was a brief one, but they had a short lull last season before the end of the year where they went on the road. They lost a few, and then they ramped back up before the playoffs. So I feel like if it's going to happen.
That was like, we've got everything wrapped up. We're not too concerned with anything. You can tell they took their foot off the gas.
Right. That's true.
But, I mean, maybe they just had their lull. 4 out of 6. Right. And back-to-back home losses for the first time all year, regulation losses. So maybe you can chalk that up to their lull, and they're ready to put it behind them and get moving forward here. Again, 3 of these 4 games are very, very winnable games. We'll see if Bischoff's in the lineup at all. We'll see what he brings to the table. He has yet to play in a game this season with the Knights. He was on the opening day roster, but was a healthy scratch. Valentin Zykov, is he going to get on the ice now? He's been with the team for about a month now, right? Right around there. Are we going to see him jump out there and bring hopefully some offensive production to that third line, which is in bad need of offensive production? Where's Riley Smith at?
Where's Will Carrier at? I thought he was out for a couple days.
Oh, he was sick, apparently, according to Gallant.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what he was sick with.
He's leading the league in hits among forwards.
Yeah.
So now I'm starting to miss the guy. I thought he was going to miss a couple games because of the roster dilemma that they were in, and was it going to be Nozick or Lindbergh or Carpenter that would have to make room, I think, to keep Peary up, right? And it was Carrier, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, he's the guy that's solidified, right? It's Nozick, and it's Lindbergh, and it's Carpenter. So it makes sense that Carrier would be the guy maybe left off to let these other guys battle for whoever, I guess, is going to stay, the 2 out of the 3. But he's just been gone. And, again, the information flow that we get from the team is just, it is what it is.
It's non-existent. And, McPhee said something the other day talking about Eric Haller. They asked him if he is going to come back, if there's a timetable there. And McPhee, I think he said something that's kind of telling. He said, we don't generally see this type of injury in hockey. judging by the scar I saw on Howle's knee in that picture, that's an ACL.
No question. Yeah, no
That's
question
an ACL.
surgery.
And with that kind of injury, you see generally in basketball where you're planting and cutting, football, planting and cutting, taking hits low in football. You see that a lot as well. And that'll tear that ACL. You don't see it too much in hockey because you don't have that. You put a lot of torque and things like that when you're turning on those edges, but you don't have that plant, right? Mm-hmm. If you watch that injury again, it looked like he tore an ACL just by the way his knee went. And if that's the case, Howle's done. I would be shocked.
And why don't you just say it that he blew out his knee?
I know. Every other team seems to, he hurt his wrist and he's going to miss 3 weeks because it's flared up on him. Whatever. This team,
right.
No, he's not feeling good.
Clearly, teams know what the injury is.
Yeah.
So why hide it, right?
I don't get it, man.
It is confusing, but so we pretty much have to count on him not coming back. So
I would say Howle's done for the year. Again, just based on what McPhee said and the look of that scar on that knee. That's not a minor surgery. If you're having a meniscus tear, it's a scope surgery. You get 4 little minute incisions, and that's pretty much it. This was a 4-inch scar down the front of his knee, so I'm going to go ahead and say ACL.
Yeah, but you've had players step up in his place. Again, Peary has been doing just fine.
So what are your lines moving forward now? So let's assume Howle's done. All right, let's just throw Howle out for right now. And we'll go with Riley Smith comes back and Will Carrier comes back. So your top line is the top line that it's always been. Mm-hmm. Carlson, Smith, Marchessault.
Agree.
Your second line has to be Tuck, Stastny, and Pacioretty. Right? Mm-hmm. Top 6 set. Carrier comes back. That fourth line is set. Belmar, Carrier, Reeves. That line has been great. It's destructive. It goes out and beats people up. They just play a different style when they're on the ice, and it sets the tone. What do you do with that third line? What are we going to get out of Valentin Zykov? What are we going to get out of Peary? He hasn't scored in a while now. All he did was score goals when he was going back and forth between the AHL and the NHL.
I don't think it's a while. It's been games, plural.
Right, but he was on fire there for a minute, and now it's kind of backed off a little bit. Is it going to be Zykov and Peary along with Eakin? Are you going to have Nosek on that line? Are you going to have Carpenter on that line?
Well, I still think you put Peary on the third line, and people are they're against it for whatever reason.
I don't know
Gallant
why.
said he needs to be a top 6 forward. Yada, yada, whatever. I'm not a GM, so again, what the hell do I know, I suppose. His last goal was the 15th of January against Winnipeg, and that was the game that they lost, 4-1. And so he's gone 3 games without a goal.
For him, that's an eternity,
3 games
right?
without points. 3 games without points.
What's
as
he
well.
doing?
Yeah, I know. They're going to send him down.
But you need him to be able to score, and if you're going to be on that third line, they've got to find offensive production. That line is just it does not generate offense at all. They've got to find some offensive production from that line. Mix it up. Throw Peary on there with Eakin and Zykov and see what happens. Throw Nosek. Nosek started off the year really well. He looked like offensively he kind of found his game. Maybe he just needs to be in a consistent lineup. Let's throw him out there and see what happens. But they need to find production on that third line.
Comments. Keep them coming. Chris Delcamp, good friend of mine out on the East Coast. That's some sweet product placement, bro. I think we nailed it this week, clearly. Now we've got brands everywhere. We need a little bit more. I think we need your Raiders jerseys back, your Golden Knights jerseys.
Yeah, I've got them. I've got plenty of them.
Yep.
I mean, we got flags, we've got jerseys. What do you want? We've got it all.
All right, second half predictions. 1, teams in the playoffs, correct? There's no.
Yeah, absolutely.
30 games left. They're 10 points up in the division.
Yeah.
All right, William Karlsson, goals, has 16, 43 last season. Does he make it to 30?
I don't think so. No, 25. I'm going to put him right at 25. And we said last year, 43 is not going to happen again. But if he's in that 25 to 30 range, he'll be fine because he does so many other things well on the ice than just score goals. So I think 25, he'll be in good shape. I don't think Anaheim catches the Knights. I don't think there's any way that they fall out of that playoff spot. Only a couple of points back. What are they? 3 points behind San Jose right now. Those two can flip-flop pretty easily, I think. Calgary just keeps winning. They're 9 points up now in the division. So I don't think they have enough to catch Calgary. I mean, 30 games left, 9 points back. Doesn't mean that Calgary can't fall in their face and suddenly come back down to earth. But I think Calgary is going to end up winning the Pacific, which is tough because that first round is going to be Vegas and San Jose. It's a tough matchup to start the playoffs.
Yes, but that's how it started. No, that was Kings last year. Second round was in.
Because Vegas won the Pacific, so they had the wild card.
They took care of the Sharks, no problem. Alex Tuck, points. Has 40, 16 goals, 24 assists. Do you think he makes it to, I'll say, 65 points? Probably yes. So I'll say 70. You think he gets hot in the last 30 games? It would be 30 points essentially in 30 games.
I do, because I think that line has really started to figure it out with him and Stastny and Pacioretty. They haven't had a ton of time together. You know, you forget Tuck was hurt at the beginning of the year. As soon as he comes back, Stastny gets hurt, and Stastny comes back, and Pacioretty gets hurt. So those three guys haven't had a ton of time together on the ice. But now that they're starting to gel a little bit, I think you're going to see that line start to produce a lot more.
Glenn Craig, hi from Winnipeg. Thanks, Glenn. You guys have been they've been the only team playing lately out in the West.
Yeah.
Think they went one win, couple losses there. Well, we like seeing our fans from Winnipeg out here. And Glenn, we'll still send you the Grimaldi's Pizza gift card if you give a good comment here during the show. Eric Ho, go John. I have a fan. Go John.
Do they have Grimaldi's up there?
No, they don't. I
was going to say, man.
He can come down here.
How far does Brooklyn
and have a
reach,
pizza?
though?
They've got 5 locations in town, and I think some in Arizona. 50 across the country, actually. So they're all over the place. But I know they have 5 here in town. Marc-Andre Fleury has 27 wins, 30 games left in the season. His career high for wins in regular season, 40. He's 13 wins away from tying his career high.
Of those 30 games does he play in?
Right, and that's the question.
I
25. I mean,
the way he's going, 29, 28.
Yeah, 20.
It's been ridiculous.
So I think it's a lock that he has the most wins in the regular season in his career. That was 2007.
Yeah, he's going to hit 40. He'll hit 40.
12 years ago, the guy had 40 wins. Doesn't that make you panic? 46 starts in last year's regular season. He has 45 starts, so he'll tie that tomorrow when he starts in net against the first team they play here on the road trip. Ryan Reeves, 58 penalty minutes. He had 94 last season. A career high 126. Oh, but to back up, Marc-Andre's never won the Vezina Cup or trophy.
Surprising, right?
It is. He's going to win it this year.
I hope so. I'd like to. I mean, that's kind of he has the rings. I'm sure he'd love to win one in Vegas. Obviously, everybody would love to see that. But that's kind of the cherry on top to what is going to be an absolute Hall of Fame career when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see him. You know, he'll be a finalist. Let's see him get it.
Hot take. He goes into the Hall of Fame as a Golden Knight.
Oh, could you imagine the
Hot
hate?
take.
Could you imagine the hate coming out of Pittsburgh?
He bought a bigger house out here. He's staying in Vegas. I don't think there's any arguing that.
No, he's here. He's gonna be here for a while. Yeah. But the bulk of his career, when it's all said and done, will be out of Pittsburgh.
Hot take. Don't at me.
First ring was his. The second two, not so much. Maybe. I don't know. He's got to win a ring here, though.
Again, it's Carolina to kick off this 4-game road trip tomorrow. Back to Reeves, penalty minutes. 94 last season. He's at 58. I go under 94.
Yeah, under. He's playing smarter hockey this year.
He's played really well. Offensively, he's been in great positions all season long.
He has. He had career high in goals already this season. When he came in last year, it felt like Reeves was in this prove it kind of mode, right? Like he wanted to come out here and show the guys why they went and picked him up, and this is my game, and I'm the tough guy, I'm the quote unquote goon, right? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to have everybody's back. And he started picking up those quick penalties, bad penalties that cost them a couple of games right off the bat. Once he sat for a while, and I think kind of got a feel for the way that Will Carrier was playing that position, because remember, they were the two pieces that were going in and out for each other. They didn't play together on that fourth line. Carrier was out, Reeves was in, vice versa. I think he kind of took a page out of Carrier's book and said, all right, this is what I need to do on this team. This is how I need to play. And he really settled into that role. Now you put them both on that fourth line together, and they've been fantastic. So I think under that 94.
I checked out for about a minute of your talk there because all I'm thinking about is our next segment.
Getting hungry, man.
Yeah. Hey, we'll revisit the Knights before the end of the show. Rich, throw it to break. We'll be right back with our Slice of the Week. In life, life, just like in football, you need good hands to score. The Michael Westra Allstate Agency will carry you to success for every insurance need. Auto, business, home, life. Michael will personally see you get the best rates, and our full-service staff at 702-435-4211 will walk you through any claim, not refer you to an 800 number. For over 15 years, Michael has served charities in Las Vegas. He's ready to serve you at 702-435-4211, 702-435-4211. Drink, dine, and play at the Pint during the pro football season. Join us all day Sunday plus Monday and Thursday nights as we serve up the best specials on the west side. $2 all-beef hot dogs, $3 beers from locally made Bad Beat Brewing, $15 buckets of Bud Light, and sound for every Raider game. Our carefully crafted menu and loose slots create a locals atmosphere you'll love, plus awesome parties during every Golden Knights game. The Pint, located at 9941 West Charleston near Wallapai. The Pint, your premier neighborhood bar. Hey, short commercial break for us. Gave us just enough time to get the pizza out. So we're going to start with our slice of the week here. And it is our good friends from Grimaldi's. So they've hopped on board, and they've decided to sponsor our slice of the week segment, which I think we're both really excited about. So they just sent us a pie, and this week it is the Brooklyn Bridge. So if you've gone to Grimaldi's, well, you know how good their pizza is, one. Right. The Brooklyn Bridge, oven-roasted red peppers, creamy ricotta cheese, hand-pinched Italian sausage atop our traditional pizza. So they've got their sauce, and they've got the sliced mozzarella on there. And, we're just going to talk about pizza,
good, man.
Maddie.
Hold on, let's get a bite in first.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks really good.
I'm into it, man.
Oh.
I love this place.
Mm-hmm. It's really good. Job. I know Barstool does their pizza reviews, right? And they've got a pretty big scale here. You can't give Grimaldi's a bad review. Sorry, I've never had a bad bite of pizza from that place. So we may think shameless product placement, but no, this is excellent pizza. Would score very high, I think, on the Barstool scale.
How big was your bite? You all right?
I know.
Struggling over there.
Rich is yelling, take some more bites. Why don't you come out here and get a slice, Rich? So these are from the folks, South Rainbow and the 215. And then they gave us a gift card, Maddie. $25.
Who's winning the gift card?
Ready to give away. I think we could do it on a Super Bowl, one of the crazy Super Bowl props, or we just do best comment. Best comment of the show wins $25 to Grimaldi's. Pretty simple.
I like it.
See, it's not just about us eating the food. We're giving back to you guys. Don't hate. Don't hate, appreciate. Kim saying yum, and Jake talking about Malcolm talking to PK Subban. So,
I wonder how that interaction went.
Yeah, we need a good comment. So whether it's Golden Knights related or whether it's Runnin' Rebels related. What was the comment that you saw the other day? Runnin' Rebels, Marvin Menzies, the size of the crowd.
Let's set it up, right? If you remember the loss to Air Force, Menzies talked about the team not being able to communicate because of the crowd noise. Now, if you watch that game, plenty of cadets in the one end, student section behind the basket.
Right, one end. Mm-hmm.
There was nobody else there. Nobody.
I remember this.
Across the arena, it was empty. It was a fan here and a fan here and maybe a couple over there. And then the student section was full. He blamed their lack of communication, their inability to communicate, on the crowd noise at Clune Arena. A fan jumps in on one of my tweets the other day after the UNLV game and says something to the effect of maybe the team wasn't communicating well because of all the crowd noise, because that's as full as we've seen the Thomas and Mack all season. He's never going to live that comment down, ever. How can you blame crowd noise for a loss when there's maybe 2,500 people in that arena? Now you have a full Thomas and Mack. They're out there not communicating. They get blown out. Must have been crowd noise. I like it.
We need a comment like that. That'll win you the $25 gift card to Grimaldi's, and that's probably a good pizza and a half, I think, over there.
Oh,
very reasonable. Good folks.
Get some cheesecake. Cheesecake's good, man. We need to get some cheesecake.
Michael Wynn up in Winnipeg, our boy Michael, he would open a Grimaldi's. All right, we'll get in contact with us. Maybe we can get a finder's fee for the first location north of the border. I think that would work. Our folks from Grimaldi's.
They could probably use some hot pizza right about now, man. They're freezing up there.
All right, so we'll revisit the slice of the week. Grimaldi's on board. They'll come back next week with another pie, and we're going to enjoy it for the rest of the show here. But I opened you up with a very good comment from somebody on social media. Let's get to the Rebels. So running Rebels now. They lose to Reno, and they lose bigly. 17 points. Could have been worse.
17 to Reno, 17 to SDSU. Back-to-back games.
Yeah, so first off, did we really think that this game was going to go any other way? And you mentioned it at the top of the show. I was talking about the San Diego State game. I said maybe a close loss on the road, which is not true.
You did.
This game, completely the way I would have expected it to go.
Yeah, the result was, I don't think, ever in doubt, right? We knew that they were going to go into this game and get beaten quite soundly by a much better Reno team. But the thing that disappoints me the most is the way that they played that game. You could see from the opening tip that they were nervous. They were scared. They were probably intimidated by the big crowd. They haven't played in front of a crowd like this all season, anywhere. This was the best crowd that they've had, home or road, I think, the entire year. And, you know, it had that feel. We talked about it before the game started. Man, this crowd's going to leave disappointed. You have this great atmosphere. Even in the first 10 minutes, the game really wasn't close. Even in the first 10, the crowd was loud. They were behind them. They were trying to get them going, but they looked scared. Right off the bat, they win the tip and then come and throw up a forced three-pointer. That's not even close. They were 0 for 12 from deep in the first half, and I don't think a single one of those had a chance. See a lot of shots kind of rimming it out, maybe hit a couple spots on the rim and bounce out. Nothing, not even close. They were front rimming everything. They were just chucking the ball. They played really bad basketball for 40 minutes.
I think the door was open, though, because, I don't say for a win, a much better effort in the first half. I think the very first shot of the game, Chris Clyburn shot a three. If that would have went in, who knows where it could have gone. Maybe they start some hot shooting there. But they had an opportunity because there were droughts for Reno in that game. I mean, Reno was looking at the way UNLV was playing and clearly kind of matched them to a certain extent. Now, I know the first three offensive possessions, Reno fed the post, ran the same three plays.
Yep. And they just walked them
scored
down.
6 points.
Walked them down.
Two on a foul, and then two baskets made. Sorry, I have a little Grimaldi's.
Well, and here's the thing that we talked about there was Reno's able to get any shot that they want right now. Mm-hmm. And that's how the first half went. The second half,
you're absolutely right.
They kind of played even for the second half. I think Reno got out to about a 25-point lead at one point, ended up winning by 17, but it was pretty much in that 20-point range the entire second half. That's because they took their foot off the gas. They just wouldn't let UNLV do anything. But in the first half, they were able to get any shot that they wanted. If they wanted to go inside and back somebody down, they did. If they wanted to take an 18-foot jumper, they did. If they wanted to kick it out and hit a three, they did. There was nothing UNLV could do defensively to stop them from running their offense. And they didn't change anything up. It really seemed like they just kind of sat back and allowed Reno to dictate everything they wanted to do.
Rebels did get it within 7, and it was late. It was late in the first half. They were down 7 with about 7.5 to go, and I don't know if it was Rebel timeout or UNR. It might have been a UNR timeout, and we don't call them Nevada here. Sorry,
Nope.
UNR timeout. And I said it to you, and I said it to a media member next to me. I said, "Here's where it changes."
Yeah.
And that's where it changed.
And it was 7 to 15 in a minute.
Yeah, it blew up. But
again,
Reno's
were
a good
able to get
basketball
whatever
team.
they wanted out of that first half.
Really good basketball team. Rebels couldn't make any shots. They had to play a perfect game, as we said. And if they make a couple of those three-pointers, maybe it's just a close game in the end, but second half, they finally were able to make some outside shots, but it wasn't relevant. They weren't in the game.
No, it wasn't at all. And every time they hit one, Reno came down and answered.
Yeah,
What is this infatuation with running the offense through Mbake Jong?
Oh, God. I'm glad you brought that up. If you didn't watch the game, Mbake back for the first time in 4 games since the hand injury, the guy can't score, and they were feeding they were running the offense through the guy.
He can't catch.
Okay, well, I'll give him that he can catch the ball, but when he does, he can't finish. I'm just making an assumption.
When he catches the ball, he can't finish. The problem is he doesn't catch it often enough. 1 for 6 from the floor, Mbake was. He had 4 points. You're trying to run your offense through a guy that is this inept offensively. I get that you need a big in there and you need a little more presence, and defensively he gives you something. I didn't see any of it in Tuesday night's game. He really didn't do much of anything out there. Tombwe, I don't think he had any points in the first half, maybe 2. I think he had 2 points late in the first half. Was kind of invisible for the majority of the game, dealt with some foul trouble. Same with Chamwa Chachua, dealt with foul trouble. Just No size in there whatsoever, and no real way to contend with Reno's skill.
A couple comments here. Sorry, I stepped away from it. Kim, Kim, you're the leader in the clubhouse, as far as I'm concerned, for comment. I will never call them anything but Reno.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a hot take by any means, but I'm glad you put that out there.
A lot of social media hate over that. Writers from up north.
They just won't let it go. Why would... It's the University of Nevada system, right? They don't own it.
But it's
you have Nevada Reno and Nevada Las Vegas.
Reno. I don't understand. So I get if you want to call yourself Nevada, that's fine. You have
call yourself
Michigan
that.
And you have all these other schools that do the same thing, right? Fine. But you still are UNR. Your official university is University of Nevada Reno. I'm sorry that you hate your little city that much that you can't include that in anything that involves sports, but that's where you're at. You're in Reno.
There was something on social. I don't know if anybody saw it or you saw it, but one of the Martins, thought that Reno was Las Vegas. They're quoted as saying that, like, "Oh, I thought this was Vegas." Something that when they went up to Reno,
right?
It really
not
absurd.
Even close. Sorry,
really
guys.
absurd. Vince De La Cruz, hey, thanks for hopping on, Vince. He was our connection to Grimaldi's, so we're glad that Vince is a fan of our show. Yeah, I know, it's really great. It's cooled off a bit since we got it, but it's still, cold pizza is, still very good pizza. Grimaldi's probably has
room temperature.
Some of the best in town. And I'm a pizza guy. I'm not going to lie here. Italian kid.
Who's not a pizza guy?
But I mean, that's all that. I went on a hunger strike when I was a kid. I would not eat anything but pizza or bacon. Dead serious. You can ask my parents that.
Did you put bacon on the pizza?
No, I can't recall.
You missed the boat. Man.
I'm sure my mom, she's probably on here right now. Patricia will chime in. But I did truly go on a hunger strike where I only ate pizza, and I didn't eat. And they caved, and they said, get the kid a pizza.
Wow.
So I'd like to think I know what I'm talking about when it comes to good pizza. Matt Evans makes a good point. They look so much bigger than our team. Yeah, it was
they really
30 pounds and 6 inches at every spot. So this is a Final Four team. There's no question about that. I think they could potentially make a run to that for sure. Attendance, let's touch on it. 15,786.
No.
That's the announced number. I think it was close, 14.
12.
I think it was 14.
I'm going to say 12. The lower bowl was pretty good. It wasn't completely full. Lower bowl was about 10,000, but it was pretty close. The upper bowl you put maybe 2,500 up there, ish, somewhere in that range. I'd say 12 to 13,000. No way there was 15 to 16, but it was still a good crowd. And it was. If you've ever been to the Thomas and Mack, and I'm sure most of you watching have, it gets loud in there when that place is full. It gets loud. So we were talking to Vince Sapienza.
Vinny.
You're right. And he's only been here since he said around the time Beard was hired. And
then that's
subsequently
right.
was out the door a week later. He's never seen the Thomas and Mack the way that we all remember the Thomas and Mack. And it's hard to believe that it has fallen that far, that we've got people in the city for 3 years that have never experienced 15, 16, 18,000 people in that arena. If you've been to T-Mobile, you've gone to Knights games, it's different. It's a different style atmosphere, but it's that same kind of energy. It's still loud. It's all that volume, everything that comes with it. That's what the Thomas and Mack used to be, and you got a little glimpse of it on Tuesday night. But
you're not it was nice to have. I did get chills because I'm like, I don't remember hearing the Mack this loud.
Yeah.
You made the comparison. It's like it can be T-Mobile Arena.
Yeah.
When that team is doing well. So UNLV now 5-3 in the conference. They're tied for fourth, but they're going up against the teams in front of them. So it's Utah State on Saturday. That's an afternoon. I think 1:30 tip. It is a 1:30 tip, and then at Boise, which they're tied with them for fourth at 5-3. That's Wednesday on the road, and then home against Fresno. So the next 3 games are all 3 teams ahead of them. Matt, come on.
Here's
1 and 2.
No,
0
absolutely
3.
not.
Yeah.
So
they can't get a lucky one in there?
No, because here's the thing: is I was thinking about the way that they came out and played against Reno, and I said
they beat Boise.
I said they were scared, right? They're not going to beat Boise. I said they looked scared, they looked intimidated. When they went to New Mexico in the pit, that's how they played that first half. They played like there was this nervous energy. They didn't quite have their feet underneath them, and I think they realized, you know what? We're better than this team. We're more talented than this team. If we just play our game, we can beat this team. They're not more talented than Boise. They're not more talented than Utah State, Reno, Fresno, they're not. They are not
I
gonna
disagree.
Be able to
I
push
think they
back.
have some good talent. They've got some good talent. It's young talent.
They have some good talent. They have some young talent, but they don't have a talented team overall. They don't have a big that can dominate. Tomway was shut down by Reno.
Well, he was the smallest guy on the floor. It looked like,
and he's not a small guy. He's a big guy.
That's the thing. He's skinny and lanky, but I mean, he was dwarfed by
Robotham
Reno.
looked like a child out there. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a 6-foot guard, if that, and he looked tiny out there. And unless he is just on fire, and same with Hardy, you're just not getting enough out of those positions. So I don't know that. I just feel like this team is going to come out and feel that pushback and not have enough confidence in themselves, like you saw against Reno, like you saw against Air Force. I don't know that they're going to have enough to come back in those games, especially the two on the road. At Boise, at Utah State, I don't see how they win either one of those games. Maybe Fresno, I don't know, maybe they can hang with them for a little while, but let's be honest, Fresno's a better team.
Right.
They're going to beat the Rebels.
I'm the optimist, even though it was, I think Air Force was at home when they beat Boise, but Air Force beat Boise already this season, so the Rebels, maybe they can go in there and get a win. I think that after this game...
The Air Force have beat the Rebels by like 106?
Yeah.
I mean...
Don't bring that up.
Yeah.
All right, to that, I'm going to drink. Draft Pick of the Week segment. Bad Beat Brewing, our good friends from Bad Beat.
What do we got today?
They've got their Hoppy Times, their IPA.
Hoppy Times.
So a little hoppy. And you know what? I feel like we've nailed this whole sponsorship thing because we have pizza and beer.
Well, I mean, if you have pizza and beer, you're in good shape, right? How can you mess that up?
Yeah, exactly.
So, do you like IPAs? Let's start with that.
Not a big IPA fan. I don't like the hoppiness.
Right. IPA is hoppy.
I like their hef, which we had last week.
Very easy to drink. Mm-hmm. Real soft. More of a session beer. IPAs are great with food. I love IPAs. It's not one I just want to pop open and sit and drink. It's kind of beer when you have pizza, you have something substantial to go along with it to kind of counteract some of that hoppiness, some of that bitterness. I think IPAs are great. They're a little more of that full body, robust style beer, and I think the hops are great when you have something nice and greasy like some Grimaldi's pizza here.
And if you haven't heard of Bad Beat, they're in the Booze District out in Henderson. They're next to the distillery out there in that same complex. And you can get them at The Pint, our local bar on the west side. You can get them at Smith's. You can get them at Lee's. Pretty much any major retailer, I think, across town has them. I think Albertsons carries them as well. So they're around. So I encourage you, if you guys don't have a go-to beer, and if you see Bad Beat lying around, if you like a hoppier beer, go with their IPA. But I think their hef is outstanding.
It is. Do me a favor, John. Take a bite of the pizza.
Oh, okay.
Then take a drink.
Well,
of the beer.
you're just encouraging me to.
Well, yeah, but then you see how that beer changes a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's how you do it. It's good stuff, man. Oh, don't hurt yourself.
Forgot the beer's full.
Yeah.
I had 2 sips. I'm already all over it.
So it takes away some of that hoppiness, man. It's a good
beer.
I
agree.
It's a really good beer.
I agree. Yeah, it's tasty. Okay.
I like it.
Super Bowl 53, get your predictions in now. Should we just do prediction and final score for the gift card? Or if we do that?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
That's it. Throw them in there. Prediction,
well done.
Outcome, final score. Closest wins the $25 gift card. We'll track it clearly, and then we'll get back to you. So there you go. Kim, I'm sorry. I really loved your comments, but I think this is fair. So put in your team, put in your score. It's still a 3-point game. Patriots favored. If you like the Rams here, boy, you're getting a ton of value here. There's no question about that. Now, the numbers have started to change just a hair. I know you're not a big gambling guy, but at William Hill, I just checked them out before we came on here on their mobile app. Patriots 3-point favorites, but that's at even money. So they're essentially trying to get a little bit more Patriots money here. It seems like folks are starting to hit the Rams pretty hard at plus 3. That's at minus $1.20. So essentially you'd have to bet $12 to win 10, where if you bet the Pats at this point, $10 to win 10. If that makes sense.
It does.
Let's get some predictions in here. Who do we have? Vince, thanks Christina Forte. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Christina, for delivering the pie. Yeah, she was very sweet. She was excited to get out of the office. I asked her not to throw her under the bus, but I asked her. I was like, yeah, you excited to leave the building for a little bit? Yeah, and she dropped off.
It's always nice to get away for a minute.
Tom Brady, the Pats, 27-21. Matt Evans, Rams, 35-24.
right.
I kind of like that one, Kim. So actually, I kind of like your prediction out of the couple that we have so far. Keep them in. Winner gets, it's $25 to Grimaldi's. And let me make sure that this is any location. And I'll make sure that you guys get it, or we get it to you somehow.
Nice. Breaking open the envelope.
Yeah, 5
here.
locations again at Crosstown, the Palazzo Fashion Show. You've got
Palazzo
the
right down
one
the street from
on the
where we're
west
at
side, $25 gift card. Yep, looks like it's anywhere, so any location.
There we
so that's pretty sure you're going to find one anywhere close to you. And these are the folks
Vince,
from Rainbow.
Vince
the Rainbow
says Rams
location.
plus the points and the over. We need
you can't do
scores
that.
here, Vince.
You can't do that,
It's too
Vince.
vague. Too vague.
You
We
can't
need
win the gift
scores.
card either.
Yeah, you can't win the gift card. You get free pizza all the time. What are you doing?
We'll talk about the game for a little bit, but I want to touch on these prop bets here.
Oh, these are great. These
Yeah, they
great.
are. And I just like to find the outlandish ones. So you have over-under, Gladys Knight singing the anthem. The number is a minute 59 for the anthem. Typically, it's right around 150. That's usually what the average is. So they're going to go a little long on Gladys. And I know she likes to, but
Right.
she's
She's
not.
gonna
She's
carry those notes out a
not a
little
young
bit.
chicken anymore. I mean, she looks
Bring
young.
the pips?
She looks.
Where are the pips?
If the pips are there, it's over. Clearly.
We got to get the pips.
No,
in
I'm
there.
going to go
Come
over.
on.
I think because she's from Atlanta. I think I'll go over on that. That is one of my favorites. Is just the time on the national anthem. So I like the over there. I think she'll just do a little bit of a show.
For the ladies out there, will Adam Levine be shirtless at any moment during the halftime show? Yes, plus 2,000. No, minus 7,000.
Where's this one? How I see it?
It's down the way. Let me
yeah.
tell you, John. I have not seen a halftime show in probably 20 years. Halftime pops up, we're outside in the street playing football. That's the Super Bowl tradition. At my house, we go outside and play ball. I cannot tell you the last time I saw a halftime show. I even missed the Justin Timberlake thing with Janet Jackson.
Vince,
I don't watch
Vince corrected. Well, I don't know. I didn't say it wrong. I said rainbow in the 215, South Rainbow in the 215. Is there 2 rainbows in the 215? I can't. No.
Don't know.
Yeah, that's the south side. So southwest. Southwest side of town. Vince likes C.J. Anderson MVP 16-1. That's a nice number. But so these are from. Take it for what you will, for entertainment purposes only. We found these on Fox News.
These
okay?
are fun.
Yeah, we're not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form.
Will a SpongeBob inflatable or costume be used during the halftime show? Plus 500 to the yes.
Yeah, well, I would say no, unless Adam Levine has something that, some fetish for SpongeBob. Who's the first person the winning quarterback thanks? We said this at the top of the show.
Right.
God, plus 800. I'm taking the value on God. I'm going to go with that. Wife family plus $1.60.
Is that we've seen Brady? Go back and check tapes.
Oh,
for this bet.
I'm sorry.
Because
It's quarterbacks.
If
You're
Brady,
right.
Yeah,
So,
it's only quarterbacks.
yeah.
So if Brady wins, is that?
I don't know if
generally what
Goff's
he
a
does?
Christian. Well, that's the X factor.
I don't know either.
Right.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You're right. I backed that up. I thought about it. I just processed out loud. So God plus 800. I like the value there. But if you're going quarterback, I just go the first player, and I'd take God for sure.
Let's go. Let's go back to your Gladys Knight here. Will Gladys Knight forget or omit any words during the national anthem? You mentioned her age. I don't know. Is she still?
Well, what's the number on there?
Yes is plus 155 that she will forget.
No, I got to go
or
with the
omit.
favorite.
No is minus 200.
Yeah, I got to go with the favorite. I don't think there's any question on that one.
All right.
Let's find a couple more here. Oh, great one. Will the winning team accept the offer to visit the White House?
If it's the Patriots, yes. If it's the Rams, questionable.
Yeah, so we
I
have
don't know.
yes is the heavy favorite here, minus 950. I think you take the value there. I would chase value there and say no.
All right.
I think that's a value proposition because maybe it's not Trump related, but maybe it's just travel delay. Maybe it's like snowstorm, that global warming.
Yeah, the polar vortex.
That global warming. Now I'm getting political. That global warming.
So what about
Trump tweets?
What about a little tie-in here with the anthem, the length of the anthem? Will any scoring drive be shorter than the time it takes to sing the national anthem? So if you're going to take the over in the anthem, maybe you think there's going to be a quick
I'd say
hitter
yes.
there.
Yeah, I say yes.
Yes, plus 155. No, minus 200.
Yeah, I'd go yes there for sure. Let's go back to Trump, and then we'll move on. We'll actually talk about the game. Total tweets from Trump on Super Bowl Sunday, all day, over 9.5, over 9.5, or under 9.5. Over is the big underdog here. You're getting 4 to 1.
He might do 9.5
During the game.
During the anthem.
Yeah.
During the anthem alone, depending
That's
on
pretty
who's
heavy.
on the knee.
Where are these? Where can you get these? I mean, you can't get them in town. In Nevada, you can't do prop bets that are like control. They all have to be game action in the state of Nevada. That's it. It has to be related to the game.
Yeah, I don't know where you can find these. Offshore?
It is offshore.
Yeah.
I was just seeing if this was somewhere specific, but no, they're just numbers that they decided. European Sportsbook, bookmaker.eu. So in Europe, they let you bet all this stuff. How does the game play out? First off, Patriots have not given up a sack all playoffs long. You really think that they're going to be able to put pressure on Tom Brady?
That changes. That changes today. So when you look at San Diego, you've got great edge rushers. When you look at Kansas City, you've got some great edge rushers. What you don't have out of those two teams is a nice middle pass rush. You don't have anybody that can really break down the pocket consistently anyways. You have Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald in the middle of this Rams defensive front. And those two guys are a destructive force, especially Donald at this point in his career. He's in his absolute prime. I feel like this is the kind of defense that can really break down that pocket and get after Brady. The thing about it is you have to disrupt timing on the outside. When you're looking at his receivers and you're looking at his running backs, guy like White that can really get out and catch the ball. What do you have, 15 in the first playoff game? 15 receptions? You've got to be able to disrupt that timing. If you can get those guys at the line of scrimmage, you got to play man-to-man. You got to play up on the line. You have to bump these guys off the line. Disrupt that route running and timing even a little bit and allow that pocket to break down up the middle. Brady's not mobile. He's not going anywhere. If you force him out to the
fastest release in the league, though, at least statistically, he gets the ball out of there right away.
Because what do? They run these quick underneath routes, or it's the quick dump-offs. Now, unlike Derek Carr and the Raiders, they have weapons that they can actually use with that type of offense, and that's what they've been so successful at. With the exception of the Randy Moss years in New England, this has been what the Patriots are. They have constantly done this little, I don't know if you would call it a version of the West Coast offense, but it's kind of a deke and dunk offense where they will find that mismatch, whether it's a slot receiver on a linebacker or a safety, or it's the running back coming out of the backfield, again, on a linebacker. They find the mismatch, use it to their advantage, and just get that ball out really quickly. You have to disrupt the timing. You have to get those guys at the line of scrimmage, and you have to allow that defensive front, especially Suh and Donald, to come up the middle and break down that pocket.
Yeah, now I do agree with you. I just don't think they do it. I don't think they do it. I think the Patriots, and maybe they do it for a quarter, or maybe they do it for the first half, but I feel like halftime, if the Patriots are trailing, they'll change something, and they'll re-scheme, and they'll do what they need to do to put points on the board, to protect Brady, to get the ball out faster if they need to. They'll find they have so many avenues to move the offense, whether it's passing out of the backfield. The running game's been fantastic. They can go vertical with Gronk because he's so big, as we saw against the Chiefs. They can do Edelman on your timing routes. They have so many ways to do it. I just feel like you have to be successful in too many avenues if you're the Rams to be able to shut down this offense.
I don't think you do. I think you have to be successful in getting pressure. If you look at the teams that Brady has lost to throughout the course of his playoff career, it's teams like the Giants, who got pressure on the quarterback always. You look at the Eagles last year, pressure on the quarterback. The Broncos, when they were losing to them in the AFC Championship game, pressure on Brady. If you can get pressure on him, it disrupts everything. And the Rams have that kind of defense. They've kind of been up and down. They dealt with injuries this year. They're healthy. You've got Peters and Talib back there. You've got that defensive front. You've got guys that can really play defense. If you can disrupt timing and get pressure on Brady, you can beat this team. This isn't a great New England Patriots team. It's a very good New England Patriots team, but this team struggled throughout the course of the season. They weren't good on the road all year. They've had a couple favorable matchups, I think, in the playoffs so far. Kansas City's defense, let's not forget, that was the 31st ranked defense in the NFL this season. It's not surprising that they were able to carve up Kansas City the way that they did. Kansas City came right back on them and carved them up as well. That came down to a coin toss and overtime, but that's not a good defense. The Rams' defense is not the Kansas City defense. This is a better defense with better weapons at their disposal that they can get after the receivers and the running backs with this team.
All right, final score. Just hit me. You can go in on this. I'll go ahead and make my prediction. I'll put it on the thread, so I'm officially in, although I will not take the gift card.
Where are you going?
It's on right there. John, 27-24 Pats. I think it's a push. I think it's a 3-point game. So either way, maybe the Rams win it, but I'll go Is that the over? That's the under. I like the under, and I like the Patriots. I don't think they're going to go over 57. I think the ground games for both teams will be effective. Rams' worst running defense in the league, or 28th, excuse me, in the league in rush defense. And then if C.J. Anderson gets his legs under him and has a good game, again, I could see that happening. I just feel like the clock's going to move. This might be a fast game, even though you have all the commercials and the length of your
So fast
halftime.
for Super Bowl is what, about 4,
right.
15 or so? Like 4 and a
7
quarter?
hours.
Mine's on the board, 31-24 Rams.
Yeah, okay. And I respect that. I could see that happening. Vince saying 36-21 Rams. Vince also going, so Vince has saved himself about $50. I think it's actually $75 to put a birthday wish on the Nitron, because I wanted to do that for my wife and I's anniversary. And they were like, yeah, it's like $65. I said, no, that's okay. I'll just tell her happy anniversary. So Vince shouting out his daughter's 16th birthday. Was it Julia, Vince? Yep. Happy birthday, Julia. She can watch it later. I'm sure she'll be super embarrassed. Vince bringing up the alternate point spread, which I love. Rams minus 14 at plus 800. That could be a good play. I like the Rams maybe minus 7.5. I think that's a good plus number. Same for the Patriots as well. So
yeah, I don't see either team running away with this game. I think this is going to be a competitive game.
I agree.
But again, it all comes down to pressure. Get after Brady and lock those guys up at the line of scrimmage, and you can really disrupt this team because they're not an overly explosive offense. They're really not.
Get in your predictions. Again, closest one wins. $25 to Grimaldi's. That's it. Winning team, final score. We'll hook you up with the gift card. Let's move on, Rich, to the comment section. What'd we miss? Who'd we diss? Oh, whoa. This guy back here knows what he's doing.
Who'd we diss? I don't know.
Who'd we diss?
Everybody's been pretty chill today, so I don't know.
That's true. We haven't had any haters.
I don't know if you saw my dad's prediction. Came in right around the same time as mine. He's got the same score
number.
I do.
That's pretty funny.
Shocking.
Well, a couple things I want to mention here in our comment section. Again, the guys from NASCAR, I mentioned this at the top of the show if you're joining us late. So NASCAR's in town. 21 drivers, including all the top guys in NASCAR. Really big deal if you're a gearhead and you're into NASCAR. New package for 2019 designed to reduce horsepower. So it's not faster cars, it's slower cars. Tighter racing, especially these mile-and-a-half tracks.
Which is great. I mean, we've been out to these races. It's always fun. The atmosphere is amazing. But these mile-and-a-half tracks, what ends up happening is if you get your car dialed in before anybody else does, you run away with it. I mean, you look up and you're 3/4 of a lap ahead of anybody, and the only thing that brings the field back together are cautions. Right. The way that they do the stages now, that helps out a lot too. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3, so everybody gets back together for the start. But generally, those cars that are dialed in just kind of run away with it. So I think what this is going to do is work a lot like the way that restrictor plate races work, which, you get Talladega and Daytona and Indianapolis, where it's just pedal to the floor for the entire race. Guys are drafting. Nobody really separates. You may have a group up front and a group up back, but the lead can change in a second. A little riskier. You talk about wrecks. They always talk about the big one with Daytona and Talladega because you have so many cars so close together going 200 miles an hour. This is going to be a little slower version of that, but I think you're going to see that tighter racing. It'll make for a more fun, more competitive day.
Yeah, I agree. I guess we'll see, but I just love that they bring it out to Vegas. They always do track testing in Vegas because
it's gorgeous.
Who doesn't love coming out here?
That, and it's 70 degrees, 68 degrees today?
So the Pennzoil 400, that's March 3rd. Coming up, it'll be here.
It's right around the corner already.
Exactly.
Month away.
I think that's the weekend before. I believe the Mountain West Conference tournament is the following week. All the basketball tournaments are out here. And that's open in the public. I do want to mention that. They'll have testing tomorrow as well. So if you want to check it out, just head out to the Speedway. They'll let you in the gates, and you can enjoy it. A little bit of UNLV football news. Biagio Ali Walsh transferring in from Cal. That was made official yesterday. Yeah, welcome back. Of course, I believe he was under Tony Sanchez. Maybe there was some overlap there for a season or two, but it's the grandson of the late Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, won 1 or 2 national championships with Gorman.
Yeah. Does he? But the running back situation is always very healthy at UNLV. So do you think he's a big part of the rotation here? I know we have Lexington's gone, so maybe there is some opportunity to find this quote-unquote lead back. I think he would have to sit out for a year. Yeah, correct. So he'll be in the mix when they move into the new stadium in 2020.
So he already redshirted. He had a redshirt year when he first got to Cal, and then playing this year. So he can't redshirt. He's just going to miss a year.
Right.
So he'll
lose a year
2
of
years.
eligibility.
Yeah, he'll have his junior and senior year left.
But I think it's just good for Tony Sanchez, get a Gorman guy back, and maybe that recognizes a few of the standouts in that program currently, like, hey, they do have momentum on their side with the new stadium.
Right.
And regardless of, I mean, it is a factor, the way they're playing on the field, right? You have this new stadium, and you have a little bit more buzz around the program. I think it's just going to be good things here for UNLV football. Now, can they translate that into wins? Another story.
Yeah. These two programs need to find W's, football and basketball.
Toronto Lights FC playing the Las Vegas Lights, or excuse me, the Lights against Toronto FC on Saturday. That's a 2 o'clock start time out of Cashman Field. That's going to be a gorgeous day.
It is going to be nice.
Yeah, if you've got nothing to do on Saturday, you may want to run out there and watch a little soccer.
Way better than last year. You remember at the beginning of the year, last season?
It was freezing cold.
Freezing. We were out there in heavy coats. Mm-hmm. It was pretty miserable. Every game seemed to be a night game. I think they were all night games, if I remember correctly. And, I mean, it's gorgeous during the day. We keep talking about how great it is. You can be out there in a T-shirt and you're fine. But as soon as the sun goes down, it dips. Temperature dips. And if you get one of those windy nights out there at Cashman Field, not good. So this is nice that they've got early season games in the day. That'll be good.
Reading comments here. How do you like the new Raiders license plates? Thanks, Vince, for chiming in. This is what the comment section is about. We want to go through and read some of what you guys have to say. Are you getting the Raiders plates?
Man, I went back and forth. Knights, Raiders, Raiders, Knights. Which way am I going? Registration is due in February. I think I'm going to go VGK. It says Vegas born on the bottom. I'm Vegas born. I've got to go that way, right?
This is true. Yeah, I think whenever it comes up again, I have Golden Knights on one car, and then the other car is, no, they're both regular. So I have 3 cars. One's kind of out of the rotation. But I think once it comes up, actually it's my wife's car. Boy, I'm just droning on about stuff you guys probably don't care about. It's my wife's car is up this month. I have to get it re-registered, but she's got her plate. Vanity plate is VGK born. We can't change that.
Right.
Got that. Mine's Go VGK.
Right.
Can't change that. I can't give those up. So
I still got my old truck. Maybe
it's gonna be it's
maybe
gonna be the other
I'll throw
car.
the Raiders on there.
Lady
Lady Rebels versus Utah State being reminded at 3 o'clock on Saturday at Cox Pavilion. Get out and watch the Lady Rebels.
Yeah, they've had a rough go of it this season. It's too bad. They lost to Reno by 8. I think that was 70-62. Just not. They've battled injuries. I was talking about this with actually Mark Wasik, who's a sports information guy for the Lady Rebels today. Just not in the cards right now, and they've battled some stuff. So thanks for plugging them. We're always happy to plug local sports and what's going on with the Lady Rebels or any team out here. Matty, final thoughts. You want to make it about the Super Bowl? What do you want to make it about?
Yeah, I'm actually excited for the Super Bowl. I'm sick and tired of watching New England in this game. I think anyone who's not from Boston or a front-running Patriots fan, because don't tell me you were born here and you're a Patriots fan, you're fake. I'm kind of sick of seeing them, but always excited for the game, man. It's a lot of fun at my house. The family's always over. A lot of nephews running around, having a good time, and just anxious to get this game going, and hopefully it is a good one, and hopefully the Rams come out on top.
You can get a non-legal Raider plate for $16. I don't know what Vince means by that. A non-legal plate? Is that like a sticker? Is that like just to throw a sticker on there?
I guess.
You're leaving us wanting more about that one, Vince. Final thought. Here it is. It's a gift from me to you. I mentioned it last week. You may not have heard it. Take first score of the game, field goal, or safety. It's always plus money. It's probably a plus $1.25. I think it's hit 3 out of the last 5 seasons. I'll have to go back and check. More times than not, that's the first score of the game. So you want to start your Super Bowl off on the right foot, and you want a little bit of money in your pocket, and you want to get excited early on, and you don't care how the rest of the game goes, take that to the bank. I would say I put my reputation on the line, but I don't know how big my reputation is. Plus money, first score of the game, field goal or safety. Really quick, I was talking with Robert Walker of U.S. Bookmaking just about what people like and what they pick, and he says it's the first of everything. First score, first touchdown. Right. Nobody picks the last of anything. So if you want some advice, some advice on how to keep the game interesting, although it will be an interesting game, try to pick the last of something, and that'll keep your attention
through to the end,
the rest of the game. All right,
John. It's over.
We'll be back next week. We'll have a different pie from Grimaldi's. So thanks to them. Thanks to Bad Beat Brewing. Thanks to Rich Giacovino, our producer. Thanks to you guys for watching. A lot of thank yous.
Yeah. Look at plenty there.
Yeah, Golden Knights again. They're picking it up tomorrow. So we had a little, I guess, a quiet week here relatively speaking. So we'll have a lot more to talk about here next week. We'll have some Vegas Golden Knights games in the bag, and we can see how they're going to start off, I guess, their quote-unquote second half, their short second half of the season. So thanks to Rich Giacovino again. Thank you guys for watching. For Matt, I'm John. This has been the Sports Adrenaline Las Vegas show. I'll let you enter in our drawing again. I feel I'm just like overdoing this. $25 gift card to Grimaldi's. Winner of the Super Bowl and the final score closest to getting it right wins. If there's a tie, we'll just ask Grimaldi's to give us another gift card, and I'm sure we'll figure that out just fine. But we'll see you here next week, 7 p.m., right here on Facebook Live. We'll see you then. Drink, dine, and play at the Pint during the pro football season. Join us all day Sunday plus Monday and Thursday nights as we serve up the best specials on the west side. $2 all-beef hot dogs, $3 beers from locally made Bad Beat Brewing, $15 buckets of Bud Light, and sound for every Raider game. Our carefully crafted menu and loose slots create a locals atmosphere you'll love, plus awesome parties during every Golden Knights game. The Pint, located at 9941 West Charleston near Wallapai. The Pint, your premier neighborhood bar. In life, just like in football, you need good hands to score. The Michael Westra Allstate Agency will carry you to success for every insurance need. Auto, business, home, life. Michael will personally see you get the best rates, and our full-service staff at 702-435-4211 will walk you through any claim, not refer you to an 800 number. For over 15 years, Michael has served charities in Las Vegas. He's ready to serve you at 702-435-4211, 702-435-4211.